So, one of the best things about owning a mountain bike or a road bike or a fat tire or a hybrid or any of those types of bikes is doing upgrades. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you're watching another episode of Toolbox Topic. I'm here once again with my co-host Brandon Van Leeuwen. Brandon, how the hell are you?
Good morning.
Yeah. So, some of you guys may have realized we didn't have an episode last week. It's because Brandon's schedule and my schedule were absolute chaos. These things happen. And then before you guys right now here, before I forget, where are we at, Brandon?
Trek Bicycle Store of West Phoenix.
God damn right we are, because this is the place where all the cool kids hang out. So, just joking, guys. No, but seriously, we are cool. So you guys to follow on the IG, especially. This is Betty, my beloved Betty. Betty's been under the weather, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but we're still waiting on parts. But that doesn't mean we can't do some upgrades.
Absolutely.
While we're waiting for certain things to arrive from for shipping. And today, we're going to be upgrading the handlebars and the stem.
Lucky.
Right?
There you go. Here's your new parts, buddy.
So there's the handlebar. There's the stem. Now, I'm going with a wider handlebar for the wider grip. Naturally, my grip is out a little bit more like this. And where some people might not think 40 millimeters makes a huge difference, Brandon, it does.
It's all preference.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. Now with a little bit wider grip and handlebar stance, I might have to go easy going through some of the cattle guards and stuff like that. I don't want to clip the end or, whatever. But these are definitely going to make the ride a little bit more comfortable for me. So
Good. Let's not forget, buddy, we're going carbon now.
Yep, these are
Big
carbon
step.
fiber.
Big
And
step.
no, I'm not doing this to be a weight weenie, because if I was, I would have ordered the carbon fiber stem instead of doing an aluminum stem. And again, Brandon, you and I have talked about this. If you're going to look for something for a weight reduction that's actually going to make a difference in your ride, the way the bike feels and everything like that, the rims.
Wheels,
Yeah.
they're the best way to go.
Yeah, super huge. And you guys know I got the Interfac hitting me. And I'm not going to drop any significant weight. The few grams I would save on going to carbon stem isn't going to make a difference.
This is just fun stuff.
Yeah.
The real difference really is going to be here. Now we're moving up to a 35 millimeter clamp and bar.
Yep.
Gain a little bit of stiffness. It should feel a little bit better up front.
Yep, definitely. So, if I find that My Little Pony bell for the trail, we're still looking for that. That'll be the next upgrade. No, I'm joking, guys. So that would be a custom build, and if I had the money, I'd probably do it. So today Betty's going to get a new bar and stem, and we're going to show you the process. Now, depending on your bike, whether it's a road bike or a mountain bike, depending on how much stuff you have in your cockpit area, is how easy or laborious a task this is going to be.
It's a very straightforward swap and upgrade, but there are a couple very important things that we're going to talk about later on, and all that has to do with up front, the headset,
Right.
And then a little bit of setup stuff. But really, it's all about getting this all back so that's safe and
Right.
working properly.
Yeah,
And it's going to
safety
last.
first, guys.
So,
You don't want to on the trail and everything like that. So,
ready to do it?
Ready to do it.
All right, man. I'm going to have you unpack this stuff if you like. And while you're doing that, we're going to start removing all the accessories off of the handlebar. That's where we're going to begin.
Absolutely.
Try to do this as expeditiously as possible.
Mm-hmm. We might do some cut-ins and cut-outs or sped-up footage or whatever like that to make it a little bit more bearable for you guys. And just in case anybody's wondering, this video is not sponsored by Trek Bicycle Store West Phoenix. I still have to pay full price, and I'm pretty sure these guys charge asshole tax because they got to deal with me so often. So there's that. But just in case anybody's like, oh, Thomas, no. Brandon and I are friends, but he still has to make a living, guys. So
I do what I can.
I know he does, but I don't want anybody thinking that you're giving me like a free handout or anything. I would come here regardless. Before we were friends, I was a customer, and it's just one of those things. But.
While we are talking, people might notice that we are not using the stand today. We're not using the off the ground stand. She is on the ground today because as we remove this stuff, that is going to free up the fork. And if we're on the stand, everything's just going to fall out.
Yep.
So this is really the best configuration for doing this swap.
Yes, good point.
Or if you have a friend at home that could help you hold it up, that's good too.
Oh yeah, no, it's a mofo, dude. It ain't gonna slide off. You gotta completely undo the clamp because this little cable doesn't want to give you enough.
Oh, it doesn't. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
And
clamshell. That's
you
nice.
have to thread it through.
All right. Let that guy dangle.
Dangle.
Yeah.
You like the angle of the dangle? You're dirty, Brandon.
This is actually going pretty quick. This isn't bad.
Now, if you guys are wondering what I'm going to do with the old parts, I'm actually going to give them to Josh. You guys know Josh. He hasn't been in any of the Toolbox Topic videos, but from one of the founding members of GOA, and we always ride the trail and everything like that. You know, you can recycle them to a friend. He's actually building another bike for a buddy of his, and we're trying to do a low-budget build and everything, so I have no problem paying it forward. I know I have actually donated parts here to the truck store. They sponsor youth cycling groups and clubs and teams and everything, which I think is great. So before you're like, I'm just going to throw these in the trash, think about it. There's probably an organization in your area through your local bike shop, or you could do a little research online that you could donate these parts to that'll make a huge difference to someone in the community. Getting some nicer parts than maybe what they have, help build again a low-cost bike for somebody who's in need. And
For sure.
I think that's just a really great way to recycle what you had previously as you're doing the upgrades.
So I am running out of a little bit of room. The cables are a little bit tighter on these wide handlebars, so I am going to just...
Brandon, are you running out of room, Brandon? Remember you talked to my brother last week, Brandon. You thought it was me, but I fooled you. Come on now, look, I'm almost full. Touch me, Brandon. You're so close.
Yeah, a little ways to go still.
Just touch me.
Yeah, a little
God
ways to
damn
go.
you!
See, I waited a little bit to, for Mr. Finger.
Well, I'm just going to remove this full faceplate now because we're still going to not have enough room. So
Right.
faceplate's coming off. Handlebar will be coming off here.
Now, one of the future upgrades I'll be doing, again, we're waiting on parts, is Betty will be going full wireless with the SRAM GX access shifters. I did pre-order those back in April when they were announced. Just goes to show you, there's no preferential treatment here. I'm waiting like everybody else, but I'm really excited to get those on the bike, and of course at some point after thoroughly putting them to the test, give you guys a full review. Come on.
Why is that guy on so tight?
What are you asking me for? Oh, probably because it's my bike. So remember how I told you guys you don't have to go batshit crazy?
Oh, it's a
There
good
we
thing
go.
we don't care about this handlebar anymore. Some poor kid's going to get it. I mean, not a poor kid, just some poor kid.
Yeah, we know what you mean. Our subscribers aren't so friggin' willy-nilly.
What's he saying? What's he trying to imply?
And if you are, don't unsubscribe. Just friggin' get used to the fact that, we talk a lot of shit.
All right, while you're doing that, here's the stem coming off. I'm going to loosen the pinch bolts and then loosen the top cap. Again, this is all what's holding the whole front end together, the fork, and putting preload on the bearing. So here comes the top cap. This is a Trek-specific knock block setup, so there are grooves in these guys that you can see, and they will have to be aligned later on to make the knock block work. Knock block is what allows or does not allow the fork and handlebar to come all the way around and strike the frame. So it is a frame saving feature. And we're moving right along, man. This is looking good.
Don't jinx it, dude.
Oh, yeah, something will happen.
Really?
Something bad.
He said it, not me, folks.
Here's the new stem, Line Pro from Bontrager. Once again, 35 millimeter, still aluminum, but this is a nice light stem. So now we've made sure that it's kind of foolproof.
Yeah.
The knock block, so it lines right up.
And another thing, you guys are might be asking yourself, hey, how do I know what size stem, what to go with, and everything like that? All the stems are going to have it embossed somewhere as far as what you currently have. Trying to find it here on this, so on the back of here, and kind of zoom in Brandon's hands. It's actually written. So when you go to swap out your stem, you can do something similar, but as we've talked about before, as far as grip and comfortability and getting the numbness in the hands, it's your opportunity maybe to get something that's a little longer, a little pitched up more.
Correct.
I'm actually very comfortable on this bike. It's fit really good to my riding stance, so I just went with same. Good as far as that goes.
So this is kind of an important step right here. Luckily, we're changing a Bontrager for a Bontrager,
Right.
so the height on the stem from here to here is exactly the same.
Right.
Should you change to a different manufacturer, that might not be the case. And it's very important that if we're using an aluminum steer, this one is an aluminum steer tube, this is the steer tube,
Right.
that we have about 2 or 3 millimeters difference between the top of the last spacer and
the lip right there.
and the lip right there. That's going to allow everything to tighten down snugly.
Right.
So if perhaps the new stem you're getting is taller shorter, and we don't have that, we can always add spacers on top to get that 2 or 3 millimeter difference between here and here. So that's a very important aspect of what we're doing here. This one is making it very easy on us.
Yeah, it's the first time anybody's ever said that about one of my projects.
This particular top cap does have a torque spec on it. I find that the torque spec of 5.2 is just a little too tight for these guys, and it kind of feels bad on the bearing. So what we're going to do later on, when we have the bike off of the racks here, we'll give it a little test, and then at the very end we'll tighten everything up
Right.
according to how well it feels. But right now, actually, we can lift everything up, and everything will stay in place.
Cool.
It'll be perfect. When we put all the stuff back together again, you can see I'm using the torque wrench. This is the Bontrager one because it's perfect for these 4 millimeter bolts. Make sure that if they're 4 millimeter or whatever one you're using, that again,
Proper torque spec.
can't push the torque spec enough. I'm kind of contradicting myself now, aren't I? Because I said that one's a little, a little tight, but just over experience. So,
And that is something to be noted, guys. I mean, we talk about torque spec and proper factory settings and everything. And yes, I can say a majority of times, golden rule, you need to follow that. Different style riding, different terrain, stuff like that. Sometimes you might have to a little bit less, a little bit more, but never, don't grossly over tighten it, or don't leave it, like finger tight or something, dumb like that.
all right, we're getting to the fun part now.
Oh yeah.
So what we'll do, since once again the cables are so tight, we'll leave it off of the stem for a moment, and we'll go ahead and put everything together, and then we'll put the faceplate on.
Yeah, because this is actually a longer bar, so we would definitely run into some problems.
Yeah. So if you like, I'll let you do the honors.
No,
I'll
no,
hold
go
this
right
up
ahead,
for you.
Brandon. Yep, no, go right ahead.
Okay,
You're
all
good.
All
You're,
right.
you're doing just fine without me. Like how I kind of
Yeah,
pushed
wait a
that
minute.
off to the side there.
Wait a
You're
minute.
doing just fine, Brandon.
It's gonna go this guy.
And that's got to thread through.
And this is this makes it a little bit more difficult, but this is the nice new setup where they have a little bit of a bridge there, so that
Yeah.
there's no flex in the.
Which I do like, because I've
and the
ridden them
lever.
both ways, but it's also sometimes a pain in the butt when you're doing this type of stuff. So,
That.
all right.
It's something else around here somewhere. There's this guy.
That's actually this, and that's going to go on.
Yes, this goes around. Thank you.
That's going to go in there because I got it all kind of clustered
Good.
up. Well, I mean, that'll eventually be,
Yep.
up there the right way. So we can let that kind of dangle.
Yep, we can leave this stuff loose for the moment. Hey, your grip's gonna go all the way on now. Look at that. Cool. We'll leave that there like that. Here's
Alright.
the stuff. Oops.
Yeah. Don't. Remember that last episode with the chain? Man, that is
Why this guy in there so tight? Then let's go like this, a little bit cleaner routing.
right.
Cool, man. That's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
I'll help you with the faceplate there.
Ooh,
I
dropping
see it. I
bolts.
see it. Looks good. Pretty.
Yeah.
Cabin.
Now, cabin. What are you, from the island?
Cabin.
I'm just going to leave it at that. I got some friends out on the island. I don't want them to think that, you know, I mercilessly make fun of them. But I do, really. No, I'm joking. So, and you can see how relatively simple this is. I mean, obviously having somebody assist you makes it a lot easier. But for the most part, I mean, whoops.
Oh.
I
Fail.
didn't have my glasses. Oh, because we got to
Yep.
re-put
That'll
that
go
in
on.
there. Yep.
But now at this part, I think it's a good time to talk about the handlebar placement. You'll
Right.
see the centering lines on this guy. So two things: we want to make sure that the bar is centered on the stem using those little guides, and then what we like to do is pitch the bar forward so that if you look dead on, the main part here is either horizontal or just a little bit up,
kicked up,
a little
yeah.
bit on the upside, and that'll be a nice, comfortable spot to have your position. So I'm centered up. I have the handlebar angled the way I prefer. Let's torque this guy down. Now the faceplate too, it's possible to have it
Right.
not straight. So we're going to pay special attention to making sure that the faceplate has an equal gap, front and bottom. I got to start over that spacing again, don't I?
Yeah. Oh, we'll get the faceplate a little tighter and then we can
Yep.
dial it in.
So paying attention to the grooves here, making sure they're equal.
Now, some bars will also have marks, like this one actually has some marks here you can see for those spacing marks that Brandon was talking about. We couldn't get the camera on the other side, but some of them will actually have degree pitch marks on the outside. So you can see, you know, are you at 0, are you rotating it up, or are you coming at a negative pitch as far as that goes. So depending on the bar you have, you'll have those markings as a guide. And, you know, there's something to be said about, you know, fine tuning it. Take it for a ride around the neighborhood, see how they feel, come back and do that adjustment and,
Sure.
and go from there. How's that looking, buddy?
That was good.
Looks good?
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually not going to test ride this today because we're waiting on parts, But when the parts arrive and we get this all Betty back together and everything like that, we'll definitely, you know, either take it for a test ride here or take it for a test ride, you know, around the neighborhood and everything. And I might have to do some tweaks, you know, as far as getting these back to exactly where I had them, where they're comfortable for me. And guys, you want to do that pretty much before you go on the trail. Just don't sit there and pick it up and then go ride on the trail and be like, oh, you know, it's not exactly where I had it, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So,
And the main part's done.
main
It looks
part is
good.
done. No, it does.
Nice and wide. You're going to dig it. It looks great. All we have to do now is make sure that this is all where you like it.
Yep.
Tighten that down, and it's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
It looks good.
All right. Well, there you have it, guys. I mean, Brandon's going to start tightening this stuff down and everything. You guys don't need to see all that BS and everything. But again, upgrades are fun. Some upgrades are more necessary than others, and some are just because it's your bike. You want to personalize it to your taste. You know, certain riders are going to like the bars in a certain position, style seat, you know, rims, everything. Tassels off the side. Ooh, tassels would actually be kind of sexy. I don't know, guys. What do you think? And again, it's one of those things, just like we do to our car or truck, the little things that make it our own. So, and yeah, you know, if you want to go all carbon, go all carbon. There's certain reasons why you would do that application. You can go aluminum. There's aftermarket companies that anodize and powder coat, and to your heart's content to really to do it up how you want to do it. Most of these procedures are fairly easy. You know, 20, 30 minutes in your garage. You can definitely do it yourself with the right tools. And it's fun. You get to know your bike a little bit better. So,
And this just looks cool.
oh yeah, the cool factor.
Good job.
above all
Nicely
else.
done.
Yeah,
I approve of this.
and it's not often he actually says that, guys. So, all right. Well, there you have it. Couple things. First, thanks for joining us once again. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all the support that you give us here on the channel. That being said, don't forget to hit the like button and the subscribe button and the bell notification ding-a-ling-a-ling button. Don't forget to... No, I'm just joking with stuff like that. What?
Yeah.
And I didn't even mention hookers and blow today. Right? Also, don't forget to follow the links down below that for our social media, our Instagram and our Facebook. You'll be able to keep up to date on all the daily affairs for Toolbox Topic. And the link for Trek Bicycle Store West Phoenix is also there. If you have any questions about what you've seen today, about parts, about procedures or anything, click that link, give the guys a call down here. They'd be more than happy to help you. Great group of guys. I wouldn't be here if they weren't. So, yeah, Brandon, I think that's it. Really?
Looks good.
So,
I like it.
I like it too. Guys, what do we always tell you? Remember, be kind to yourself and others. Be amazing stewards out on that trail. And we got to ask, what are you waiting for? Get out, Arizona. We will see you on the next adventure. Brandon, thank you so much.
Anytime.
We'll see you next week. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Nice. If that wasn't
Oh,
luck,
man.
I don't know what is.
That was great.